Oh, you're too far to the side.
I'm leaning.
Hello, Internet, hello, and welcome back to OKLCS Season 3, Week 6. We are into our last game of the night, and probably one of the most anticipated.
Yeah.
Because this is between Team and Treehouse Kids. Both of these teams are currently 3-0 in Platinum Capped in the OKLCS. Mm-hmm. So, this game determines sole possession of first place as well as a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, because whoever wins will have 4 wins.
Yep.
We will go ahead and mention that MVP for last game is actually an even tie between Oro on his AD carry Fiora and Midnight Slushy on that mid lane Yasuo. So congratulations to both of you guys.
Really fantastically in there early mid game.
Yep, for sure.
A lot of DPS.
But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into our battle for first place between Team and Treehouse Kids. Team on the blue side up against the Treehouse Kids.
Skin. I like it.
Yeah, Treehouse Kids on the red side.
Alright. Daddy's Milk in the top lane, Aramar in the jungle, Seymour mid, Naked Beekeeper, AD carry, and Silver Spade 10 playing support.
Yeah, and on the other side we do have Tall Guy in the top lane, DATV in the jungle, Wildhoffmeister at mid, Padova at AD carry, and Tom McGee supporting him down there.
I like it. They went top to bottom.
Yeah.
Nice and clean over there on that left side of the screen. Seymour, we haven't seen him play the Swain yet. Maybe it's something he's practiced, maybe it's not. We haven't like looked into his match history or anything. But it could possibly be a denial pick.
Yeah,
Wild Hoffmeister has picked Swain some this season.
Yeah, I've talked to a few Platinum Cap teams, and everyone says you gotta deny Wild Hoffmeister something because he just goes off on so many of these mid lane champions. The Anivia that we saw denied to him by Eisenschild Krot. He has gotten that banned against him basically every game.
Yeah.
The Swain, another big pick for him, and it looks like. I mean, in spite of all that, however, he's gotten to play Victor like basically every game and done pretty well on that champion. And no one ever really denies him that one because Victor isn't considered a particularly strong champion in the meta right now, but he's just been doing work with it.
Yeah, very much a team-based champion. You gotta really utilize that W in an organized setting to make Victor a nice, worth it pick.
And we've seen Aramar play this jungle Trundle a few times in the OKLCS, but I have to say I really don't like the pick at all because I think Trundle, he just clears too slow. He's got no AoE abilities to like facilitate clearing the jungle. His gank's like not actually that great in spite of how powerful Pillar is. And you're just gonna slowly sort of fall behind. Is what you saw. Oh, but he's getting an early invade onto DATV, actually forces him away, did not burn the flash, and actually are not going to deny him any of the jungle camps, but does put down a lot of damage that is going to hamper DATV's ability to early gank on this Gragas, which is something that Gragas is really good for.
Yeah. Though, yeah, like you're saying, he doesn't really have that great of a clear speed or anything, but he just took his red buff, ran straight for the Gragas.
He actually gets Death Sentence into Yordle Snap Trap. Padova actually turning back some damage and moves forward. Silver Spade and Naked Beekeeper trade back onto TomTom, but pretty good trade from Padova. He says they're focusing my support, which means that they're not looking at me. I'm just free autoing right now.
I think this is a champion that like hasn't been in that high tier of a spot for a while now, but she has been, getting some looks from Riot. I really want to see Zap crit. That'd just be cool. No. I just like that concept.
I thought so. Fun, right? I thought so too, but like I saw what it does, and it's not really that. I mean, like it's dumb, is what it is. So like I think it would be I think it would be a bad idea, is what I mean.
Gotcha. Well, what was I don't know what their thinking would be. Do they just not want it to be a lethality?
It does too much damage.
Oh, it does too much damage. Oh, okay.
It makes Essence Reaver Jinx like absolutely oppressive. Oh, Death Sentence from Silver Spade. TomTom gets rooted up, and here comes Aramar. He throws down the Frozen Domain. He's gonna have the Yordle or the Pillar of Ice. It slows up both members of Team Padova. Is gonna have to flash here pretty soon. He gets played in. No, actually, only the Summoner Heal comes out. Here's the teleport from Tall Guy. Now Treehouse kids are in trouble. Naked Beekeeper throws down a Yordle Snap Trap to keep him at bay. Dredgeline is only gonna find a minion. Not gonna be there. There's the build of a Peacemaker, and Aramar comes around. There's the zap onto him. Tall Guy has to flash away to safety. Death Sentence onto TomTom, but Aramar getting focused down against Flame Jumper. First blood over to Padova. Flash away from DATV. Seymour made the roam down, but they're never not gonna find anyone. And first blood off of Aramar going back in a little bit too hard there. And the amount of coordination between these two teams, clearly these two teams are the undefeated in Platinum Cap right now. There's just so many people rotating down, getting ready, trying to do what they can to help their team out. But now Padova with a blue buff on him and the first blood kill. Zap lands onto Naked Beekeeper. Silver Spade gonna get the Mantra Q. Flame Chomper zone him back away. He's gonna get rooted up, but except for the flash. And yeah, again, bottom lane of Team just forcing away Silver Spade's Summoner.
When you get a blue buff like that on a champion like Ashe or Jinx, someone who has some, somewhat easy poke, it's pretty hard. It's like not hard, but it's pretty annoying to lane against. They just start spamming that poke ability.
Wild Hoffmeister gets caught by the Never Move. Seymour putting down a lot of damage, but not gonna have the DOT to kill him off. Aramar throws down the Pillar of Ice, but Padova able to walk his way just out. Nova walks his way into a Death Sentence. The flash away from Padova. TomTom gets played back. Here's the root gonna land onto Silver Spade. There's the zap. He gets Flame Chomper. The exhaust goes down from Padova. The Summoner Heal comes out to keep Silver Spade alive. But here comes DATV off the backside. But it looks like he says, "Nah, I'm just gonna recall this this time. Tall Guy and Daddy's Milk trading away in the top lane. Tall Guy a little bit behind because of that teleport into the bottom lane. But he's actually turning around, putting a lot of damage down. Padova is putting down damage onto Naked Beekeeper in spite of being in the minion wave.
Ooh, yeah, he does every auto he doesn't want to take.
Yeah, Tall Guy gonna auto onto Naked, or Daddy's Milk rather. Yeah, and on a champion like Nautilus, when you get your attack speed slowed by that ground slam, it's just absolutely unbearable. Watch him try to auto.
Your auto attack.
He just cancels every auto because of that ground slam.
Yeah, your auto attack's like.
Oh, Naked Beekeeper caught by the Flame Chompers. Monster Q comes out. 90 caliber net not gonna find Padova. Means no headshot. He will be able to survive this one. There's a seismic shard onto Tall Guy. Oh, never move. Roots him up. Seymour coming in. Puts some damage down. Daddy's Milk doing what he can, but he's out of mana. He dredge lines his way under the tower. They're gonna look for the dive, maybe. Tall Guy needs to not go back in here. And Seymour pops away onto that Ravenous Flock.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Wild Hofmeister doing what he needs to be doing. Shoving into the mid lane because his laner's gone. His top laner did a good job of not dying to the gank.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, Aramar's been putting a lot of pressure down, but his form is absolutely abysmal. He's been ganking while his camps are up. I just mentioned how bad it is to be doing all these things when your camps are spawning or, like, been sitting there for such a long time. He's only got 11 CS compared to 24 from DATV, and he's level 4. I think DATV will hit level 6 very soon here.
Yeah. When those camps are sitting there for too long, you know, you're not picking up that gold. But more than that, you know, if you don't kill it and you don't set it to respawn, then your whole side of the map is missing out on potential gold.
Yeah, it's just really a bad idea to be not taking your camps when they're alive.
Because, you know, it's like it's like you're fighting against a boss. You know what I mean? Like, the faster you kill, the less cycles of its shit you have to deal with. And like, but you know, it's the flip side. I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild lately, so cycles are becoming important.
I feel you. Ask me how much sleep I got last night, the first night I had Breath of the Wild.
So I've been thinking about boss fights and like the fact that they.
Aramar! Oh, goodness. He's very low, taking away these raptors, and DATV able to just walk in, smite those away. That's even more experience denied away by Aramar.
Exactly.
DATV pulling himself very far ahead.
Yeah, you want to be on top of your jungle cycles. That's all it is. Your team gets more gold and more experience if you are picking those up.
Yeah.
In at least a
and see, look, Aramar getting pushed away from his jungle by the bottom lane. Is Zap going to come out? Aramar...
They are doing a really good job of denying this less than stellar jungle pick.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's having a hard time clearing, and they're abusing it.
Oh, they're trapped by the Yordle snap traps, but they've got their team coming in. Wild Hofmeister coming in. There's the Monster Q onto Silver Spade, who has no flash, as you mentioned. Seymour, he's going to get rooted up here. No, throws out the bird. DATV coming around the backside, looking for something. Tall Guy and Daddy's Milk. You can't get any autos up because of that ground slam attack speed.
It's painful. They move slower. They just move slower. Like slow motion when you're that beefy and your attack speeds are that bad. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Daddy's Milk actually putting down a lot of damage. Unstoppable Force in. Daddy's Milk gets a solo kill. At least Tall Guy didn't give up first blood this game. Root on a Naked Beekeeper. Silver Spade catches both ends of the Monster Q.
Actually, did that second part not hit him? What was that? He was totally standing in it. Sorry, that's not like bias or anything. That just like he just looked like he was standing in it.
Alright, Seymour putting down damage onto Wild Hofmeister, but the Ravenous Flock not finding him. Wild Hofmeister understands the champions he plays. He's standing just outside the range of the Ravenous Flock, just putting down damage. I mean, you see the discrepancy between Wild Hofmeister and Seymour in these trading power.
Yeah. Despite all the roaming that's gone on, though, Seymour actually has done a good job.
Oh, Naked Beaver gonna get the Dark Passage on his way out. Yeah, hold on a second. He's gotten slowed up by the Zap. That sentence is not gonna find him. Padova moving forward, like, this is Padova, one of the most aggressive AD carries. Seymour gonna get the never move onto Wild Hofmeister. DATV not gonna be able to smite away that Scuttle Crab. Daddy's Milk gonna have his recall canceled by Tall Guy. Just roots him up and puts down a few more autos on his way out. Naked Beekeeper pulling himself a decent chunk of CS ahead over Padova. Tall Guy
just really wants to deny the back.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty impactful. Daddy's Milk needs to recall so that he can have that teleport ready with his item so that he can force something. If his team had forced while this was happening, then Daddy's Milk is in a much worse position to try and teleport in.
Oh, for sure.
In the end, it doesn't end up mattering. Daddy's Milk able to recall, picks up Glacial Shroud for some mana, some CDR, and now building towards the Spectre's Cow. Ooh, never move. Not going to find Wild Meister. He trades back. Seymour goes in with the Ravenous Flock, and Wild Meister standing in the Decrepify. Not what you want to do. Aramar puts down the Subjugate onto Tall Guy, putting down a lot of damage, and Tall Guy actually might just go down here. Depth Charge to knock him up. He's getting chased down. The Flash 4 from Aramar, and the answered Flash from Tall Guy keeps him alive.
That was close. It's really hard to fight against a tank, or fight as a tank against a champion like Olaf or Trundle or somebody who can really just chase you down, sustain through anything that you're trying to do back to them, and with their ultimates, they can ignore your CC.
But I mean, you can see the effects of Aramar's pathing in this game.
Oh yeah, no,
he's down 35 or 25 CS almost, or just about. Runic Echo's already finished compared to only the Smite, a Longsword, and Boots. That is a huge momentum difference between DATV and Aramar right now. And I mean, he's not even going to have tank stats for quite a while.
No, not for, First thing he's going to get... Oh.
Dredgeline's going to pull Daddy's Milk in under the tower. That's a couple tower shots now. DATV forces the flash away from Seymour with that body slam. It is the first gank we've seen from DATV, but no success on the side of Aramar means it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, his ganks in the bot lane, I think, have helped his bot lane achieve that.
Well, except for that one time where he died.
No, he did die. He gave up the kill, but his bot lane does have a bit of a CS advantage.
Daddy's Milk and Tall Guy continuing to trade back and forth. There's a pretty significant CS lead for Daddy's Milk, as partially as a result of that solo kill, but also because of that ground slam interaction. Oh, teleport coming in from Seymour, actually. It canceled away by the gravity field, forces him away. Teleport canceled by Tall Guy. Actually, I think Daddy's Milk might have... No, Daddy's Milk did not cancel it. Tall Guy just canceled because he was not needed. Aramar going to get rooted up by Tom Tom. Exhaust goes down as well. He's slowed up. They're not going to find anyone. DATV actually turns it around. Bally Slam onto Silver Spade, and Silver Spade gets knocked into the enemy team. But DATV falling down. Seymour and Naked Beekeeper focusing down. The Chaos Storm ticking away. Seymour will die, or will he? He will go down. Padova autos him to death. Wild Meister turns it around. The Zap slows up Aramar. The Pillar of Ice will keep him alive. Super Mega and the Rocket double kill over to Padova. 3 for 1 rather. And the Dragon over to Team. Now Tall Guy throws down the depth charge onto Daddy's Milk. Dredgeline onto a minion.
Threw too many tower shots and didn't land the Q there. Had he taken that fight maybe closer to one of his minion waves, he might have been able to maybe take down the map.
Yeah, and Daddy's Milk is opting not to complete his jungle item in favor of rushing a Blade of the Rune King. Gravity Field onto Naked Beekeeper stuns him up as the tower goes down. Team able to pick up the tower, first blood, a dragon, and 3 kills from that whole exchange that went down in the dragon area. And that's a huge swing for them. Almost 2.5k gold in the lead.
Oh, guy, trying to put some damage on this tower. Oh,
yeah,
the
minion waves does arrive in time. Tall Guy able to continue putting the damage on.
Malphite's almost back, though. With ult, Tall Guy doesn't have a lot of mana. He does have Karma here.
Oh, he flashes Unstoppable Force onto Tall Guy, but here comes Karma. Tom McGee able to give him the shield he needs. Titan's Wrath as well keeps him alive. And now Daddy's Milk out a summoner, out an ultimate, and Team get away scot-free.
Yeah, unfortunately, he does pick up that Turret aggro, even though he didn't
Uh-oh, Silver Spade gets jumped on by Belly Slam from DATV. He's going to Death Sentence onto the Rift Herald, pulls himself to it. He's going to not have Flash over the wall. He's just going to go down. DATV going to get caught by the box, and Tom will pick up that one. Daddy's Milk looking for Tom on the way out. He gets the Grasp of the Ignite, Flash away, and the Summoner Heal keeps him alive. Explosive Cast knocks him into the wall. The Mantra Q comes out. Padova autoing down into Daddy's Milk, and he will go down. Padova's on a rampage.
They're probably going to go hold this mid tower, although if they send it with just one person top, I think they'll be able to pick up this tower. There are no teleports available on the side of THK, and that tower is pretty darn low, so just need to send somebody up there to pick it up.
Yeah, and like, if you look at across the board, lanes are about even, except for bottom lane. Naked Beekeeper is up a pretty sizable chunk of CS over Padova, but he's picked up 4 kills.
Yeah. I mean, that whole fight where he just picked up another 2 kills was by Rift Herald.
And look at this. DATV is denying the red buff away from Aramar because Aramar's not on the right side of the map as his camps are spawning. That's something you have to do as a coordinated play jungler. You need to know when your own camps are spawning. You need to gank when they're down, take them when they're up, or else you're just going to get counter jungled. You're going to fall behind the enemy jungler. He's a level down to DATV. It's probably going to be 2 here pretty soon. And he's not even going to give his Swain blue buff.
Oh. Swain.
Oh, Daddy's Milk gonna get jumped on by DATV here, and Tall Guy as well, but DATV actually pretty low. Daddy's Milk does not quite have the Unstoppable Force, and here's Padova as well. The Unstoppable Force on, but the Explosive Cast knocks him away. Actually, it wasn't the Explosive Cast.
That was the Q.
That was the Dredge line.
Yeah.
But he does end up killing off DATV a little bit disrespectful of the damage. Aramar gonna get rooted up here by Tall Guy as well as Tom Tom. He gets the subjugate onto Tall Guy. Dark Passage takes him away. The Dredge line pulls in Silver Spade, but here's the teleport from Seymour. Never move. Not gonna find anybody from Team. And Padova's free autoing. Super Mega Death again does not secure the kill, but Tall Guy will onto Silver Spade. Now he's excited. He's chasing down Aramar. There's the 90 caliber or Yordle Snapchat to try and slow him out, but he runs right past it. Aramar gonna catch the zap here. No, Padova has no mana.
This is when that Essence Reaver drinks would be dumb, huh?
Yeah, you just see how well Team is playing around Aramar on this jungle Trundle, and that's one of the big reasons why he's so easy to play around as a jungler. He's slow at clearing. His ganks are very predictable. Yeah. He's got a Ninja Tabis and a Bilgewater Cutlass.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you could do it in a solo queue game, and if the other team's just kind of not messing with you ever, you're like, I mean, this kind of works. But then you take it into organized play, and somebody is going to be like, we need to go abuse their jungler. He's going to be super weak.
Even in solo queue, when you get to very high levels of play,
in high levels,
you have junglers who, like, they understand jungle matchups so well. Oh, Naked Beekeeper had a 90 caliber net over the wall there. He was a little bit caught. And yeah, DATV just denying Aramar his wolves. He's gonna get rooted up by Tom Tom, but no further damage gonna come out.
And things to look out for. Jungle pathing, especially making sure that if the enemy jungler is something that's a bit.
Oh, Dredge line pulls Aramar in. He gets the subjugate onto Tall Guy. Oh, he gets rooted up. Explosive cast, not quite gonna find the Super Mega or the Dark Passage in time. Padova focusing down this tower with a huge wave of minions at his backside. That's 3 unanswered towers.
Oops. Sorry.
3 unanswered towers for Team over Treehouse Kid. Oh, Aramar just walks in and gets blown up by Wild Hopmeister. Okay, so a half-health Trundle walks up, throws a pillar behind Victor, and dies.
Victor was like, you don't scare me.
It's like, haha, a pillar of... Oh, God. That was highly questionable decisions there from Aramar. And I mean, that's the jungler dead. Infernal Dragon spawning. Team gets a second Infernal. They have yet to give up any objectives on the map. No dragons over, no towers over. Daddy's Milk doing what he can in the top lane, but... And I mean, this is a really good adaptation for Wild Hofmeister. He's building towards, of course, the upgraded Hex Core, but also with the spare gold, picking up the components towards the Morellonomicon, cancels the healing from Swain, from Trundle. Yes. Such a good pickup.
That's honestly something you kind of have to look out for in team comps, you know? Like, if you have too many champions dependent on healing, the other team can without being like, is this worth the gold investment, just pick up an Executioner's Calling, and really, that can do work on your team. Let's just, if you have a champion that's super dependent on it, like Sirach or Aatrox or something, if you have too many other members who kind of have some self-healing, you're like, maybe we shouldn't pick that. They're just gonna pick, they're just gonna pick
cancel that. You cancel out a large part of a lot of champions' kits.
Yeah, and but on the flip side, if you just have one champion, they're like, you know what, like they have an Aatrox, I want to pick up Executioner's Calling. You're kind of forcing them to spend money on that item, but it's not going to be effective against the rest of your team.
Yeah, so it's kind of a give and take there.
Yes, it's a give and take. So you just gotta, Find the balance.
Okay, there's the Pillar of Ice. Aramar, Explosive Cast knocks away Seymour, but Padova focusing down Aramar. There's the Flame Chompers, and Aramar gets out with the Dark Passage, dodging away from the Super Mega Dragon. Tall Guy pulls the Dredge Line onto Naked Beekeeper. Death Charge is gonna knock him into the air, but they're not gonna follow in. Padova backing away, zoned away by the Decrepify. A team, they get the teleport out from Daddy's Milk and behind. Tall Guy gets rooted up by the Never Move. Tom gonna root up Seymour here. Bosh! Body slam on the Naked Beekeeper. Wild Hop Meister on a killing spree. Laser! Oh, Daddy's Milk gets into the back line, gets a nice unstoppable force, takes out DATB. Wild Hop Meister tanking tower, and he's running for his life, but he will go down. Chaos Storm! Taking away Seymour, gets the shutdown. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 in favor of Treehouse Kids.
The Gragas went for the Runic Echoes, then he picked up Boots of Lucidity, now he's building towards Iceborne Gauntlet. He has no magic resist or HP in his items, so as you saw there, that Malphite ult and QE just took out
He's not
honestly,
quite
like a third of his health.
Not quite as tanky as he'd hoped. Aramar going to be able to pick up a second tower for Treehouse Kids in the mid lane. Closes the gold cap a decent chunk, but still down 4k.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Padova has closed the CS deficit he had compared to Naked Beekeeper. The only real discrepancy now is Daddy's Milk over Tall Guy. And I mean, that's great and all, but it's a Malphite. You only kind of really do one thing, and Naked Beekeeper gonna find Tall Guy here, gets rooted up. Tall Guy actually fancies his chances. The Yordle Snap Trap is... Oh, but now Tall Guy gets the Blast Cone out to safety. Ace in the hole gonna come out as the Baron focuses him down. Naked Beekeeper picks up a kill onto Tall Guy.
Karma not quite close enough. Honestly, had he flashed towards the Karma over the wall instead of just away from Baron, and Karma had flashed towards him, he could have lived. That was a lot of flashes burned.
Oh, Daddy's Milk is going to get focused down by some members of Team here. Tall DATV and Wild Meister even here. Unstoppable force onto both Wild Meister and Padova, but he gets Body Slam interrupted from the Dark Passage. Explosive Cast used for safe measure, but not going to find anybody. Padova, unstoppable now. 5-0-3, has Infinity Edge, has the Runons, building his... I hope he finishes his boots here.
Despite being a pretty good at clearing waves. AD
no,
carry,
he's gonna get Last Whisper.
Despite being a pretty good champion for just clearing a wave, Runans and Rockets, Caitlyn's done a good job of keeping up, even just a tad ahead in CS throughout this game.
Yeah, and I mean, so you have Aramar, right? He's got Blade of the Rune King now. Doesn't have any tank stats. What are you gonna do? Run into a Jinx and a Victor through a Nautilus and a Gragas?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for him. I think he's mostly been focusing on split pushing. I think he recognizes he can't do much for his team right now.
That is really kind of the only hope for Treehouse Kids right now. Is to have the superior split pusher in the form of Trundle, who is, of course, a very good split pushing champion. Basically, no champion can 1v1 that.
Pretty much like
because of Subjugate,
and maybe not even.
Subjugate just so effective.
Yeah, it's super. It's like it works in 1v1 or in team fights just because it just helps you get stats, helps deny some stats.
Good rotation from team.
Yeah.
They just pick up a free mid inner or a top inner rather. Seymour using that Ravenous Flock to thin out the wave. No Body Slam from DATV. Explosive Cast knocked Daddy's Milk into the wall, but he gets the Dark Passage out. Silver Spade has been doing a really good job keeping his team alive.
He has. He's been doing a great job on this Thresh engine.
Ooh, DATV walks into a Death Sentence. Yordle Snapchat pulls him into the tower, and he will go down. Naked Beekeeper picks up a kill, but a nice Chaos Storm into Gravity Field. Aramar falls down. The Superman Rocket picks off enough damage and double kill over to Wild Hop Meister as he picks up the triple onto Seymour as well. Team trade 3-for-1 in a fight where DATV got caught.
And DATV got caught, but then three of them were standing there and took a lot of coordinated CC out of them. They were all in the Victor W. They were all standing there when the Nautilus ult came through. They were just stuck there, eating up the Jinx, like I mentioned before. Jinx's AoE damage is quite big. That's honestly her and Sivir. That's where their damage is. It's not as much of a hyper carry, but if everyone happens to be standing on top of each other, you can put out a lot of DPS. Yeah,
and the inhib goes down in favor of Team. It's 6 towers to 2 now. 42.9k gold to 35.7. That is a 7k gold lead at 25 minutes. And then they're rotating to their third Infernal Dragon.
Goddamn.
Once you get third Infernal, you lose any semblance of outscale potential.
Yes.
And not to mention that Team's team comp probably outscales naturally compared to Treehouse Kids. There's the Pillar of Ice. It's not going to save your life when the Drench Line lands and he goes down. Dark Passage, not this time, Silver Spade.
It's a lot of damage. Jinx wasn't even there for most of that. She went for the CS.
And Team just in full control of this game. Padova bringing in the wave as well. Hofmeister and Tall Guy zone away the members of the Treehouse Kids. Yeah, Tall Guy just takes some tower shots. I think he was trying to help let his team get some free autos in, but they said, no, forget you. We're just going to wait for the wave. Alright, Yordle Snap Traps start lined up by Naked Beekeeper, getting ready for this incoming push. Looks like Team just going to back away. They don't really have the tools to siege up against those Yordle Snap Traps.
Baron is up. They don't have vision on it. I think they want to take the fights that they just won, go spend some gold. Just enjoy the fact that they have 2 or 3 Infernals now.
Yeah. Yeah, Wild Hofmeister finishes off his Royal Eyes, finishes off his Tier 2 boots.
Yeah, Jinx also picks up Tier 2 boots, goes ahead and picks up a Bilgewater Cutlass.
Yeah.
Get her that active, get her some lifesteal in her kit.
Yeah, and
You're gonna have a hard time trying to contest this Baron.
Yeah.
If they even could, if there's even that.
Ooh, TomTom might be caught here. He's in the Baron pit, but Aramar just chomps him down, bites away, or runs away, gets the Dark Passage on his way out. TomTom able to just take away that control ward eventually. There it goes. Throws in a control ward of his own, cancels out that little ward in the back of the pit. Now they have Tall Guy in the bottom lane just split pushing with his teleport available as they send the rest of their team up towards the top lane. DATV dodges away from the death sentence with the help of the Karma Shield. He actually body slams back in. Aramar, Dark Passage canceled by the explosive cast. Daddy's Milk actually gets a nice unstoppable force, but the redemption keeps up Padova and Wild Hofmeister, and Daddy's Milk will get focused down. Padova goes dominating. Super Mega Rocket comes across. No, not a whole lot of damage. They did lose DATV while that was all happening. He was getting focused down by the Treehouse Kids. Nevermove going to catch both Wild Hofmeister and TomTom. Death Sentence is not going to land. But they've already got Tall Guy in the base. He's focusing down the inhib tower in the bottom lane. Padova moving forward to auto attack. Seymour throws out the Decrepify just to zone him away. Wild Hofmeister pots him! Rampage for the mid laner of Team. Aramar trying to keep Tall Guy away, and he definitely can because Tall Guy's not a dueling champion, but he can't kill him.
I am surprised at how much damage that Victor just dealt.
Naked Beekeeper standing here. The Yordle Snap Trap onto Wild Hofmeister. He pops Naked Beekeeper too, but he gets the Yordle Snap Trap under tower. TomTom on a killing spree as Wild Hofmeister does die. They get the top inhib tower. They get the top inhib.
Padova didn't have his heal up.
They walk into some more Yordle Snap Traps on their way out. DATV takes away his own red buff because he's the only one on that side of the map.
Wow, that's 2 inhibs down now.
Yeah, Baron very much on the table. TomTom clearing out vision.
Your best bet is just get vision around the Baron. Wait till everybody's ready to fight for it, ready to take it. You know, wait for somebody to show that they're clearing some wards down in the mid or top lane, and then just go for the Baron. Fight him if they come towards you.
Ooh, Padova, he's getting jumped on by Aramar. He used the Blade of the Rune King, but TomTom is here. He's going to root up Aramar and use the Subjugate, but doesn't matter. He's going to get crit down. Padova goes godlike. 7-0-8.
Alright, looks like they're both just going to hang out. Redemption's probably going to be up soon in case they actually do need any sort of...
They got Honey Fruit. Alright, so Padova, Tall Guy, and TomTom starting up on this one. Wild Hofmeister and DATV on their way in. There's very little chance that Treehouse Kids can get anywhere nearby to contest this one. It's already dead. Team are going to get the Baron uncontested. Good
now,
smite from
all they've
DATV.
got to do is all back and just all go by.
Yep.
Maybe send one person mid lane just to keep Baron buff on some of these super minions.
Yeah, actually, I would recommend they grab that inhib.
grab the inhib would be good. It is open.
Yeah.
The other team can't fight them. Might as well. In the case that both of them were, like, down, you know, you could still send one member who you can trust not to die. Literally, not to even fight, just to stand nearby. So the super minions get
so that the
very
minions get... empower those minions. It gives them a lot of extra damage, a lot of extra tankiness.
Yeah, it makes it take so much longer to clear them. And the other team has to clear them. That your team is way more.
Yeah, I mean, look at how many members of the Treehouse Kids they had to send to clear out that top lane wave.
Yeah, and now they have Gragas in the mid lane to just keep Baron buff minions pushing.
Yeah, then last
they're not going to take
tower,
too big of a fight. Yeah, and there's the end. They can't even contest it despite Gragas.
Yeah, there's the Pillar of Ice, catches Padova off guard. Here's the Flame Chompers. Naked Beekeeper focusing down Tall Guy. Tall Guy gonna throw out the depth charge on the Naked Beekeeper. Aramar actually has lost a lot of his health bar. He uses the subject out on Tall Guy. Tall Guy will be the first casualty of the fight, but they lose Daddy's Milk. Aramar now getting crit down. Death Sentence onto Wildhop Meister. Redemption gonna come across to keep him alive. Seymour gets in, but he gets popped by double kill over to Wildhop Meister. Explosive Cast flashed away from by Naked Beekeeper. The focus down the Nexus towers. The first one falls down very quickly. The second one is gonna be very immediately afterwards. Wildhop Meister gets hooked in, but it hardly matters. The Flame Chompers zone him away. Padova focusing down the Nexus, and Team go undefeated in the first 4 weeks of the OKLCS and secure their place in the playoffs.
Really good performances
Yeah.
out of Team. The early game was looking kind of close for a while, but they started to pick up little victories, and they definitely translated those little victories into huge victories, having a big gold lead, having way more turrets taken, getting all the dragons. Lucky for them, they were all infernals. That helped them probably secure the game much quicker.
Yep. We're gonna stick around for just a few minutes so we can throw up the MVP poll for this game. Let's see, Team versus the Treehouse Kids.
Yeah, in that last fight, I think Tall X Guy could have pulled out maybe a little bit more, but he went really ham on Naked Beekeeper, just trying to keep the pressure on him. Forced one or two members of the Treehouse Kids to try and peel for him, and keeping those three members distracted for as long as he did really helped his team, whittle down those members. They didn't pick up any kills, but they whittled down some health bars, and they're able to just rush in and force some flashes, take out the remaining objectives.
The stream poll is available in the chat as well as
channel feed, I guess.
Channel feed. So please do let us know who your MVP for that game was for Team. Team, of course, now does have sole possession of...
Yeah, I'll come sit a little bit closer so I can get this camera shot. Yeah, what's up?
Team does, of course, now have sole possession of first place. Treehouse Kids, with their first loss of the split, Team still yet to suffer that. They're looking unstoppable right now.
Being as they were undefeated up to this point, it would be a surprise for Treehouse Kids to not make it to the playoffs. They only need one more win to absolutely guarantee, and they have 3 weeks remaining, so hopefully they can, pick up one win in one of those weeks and try again, get some revenge during the playoffs.
Yep. That's what you have to hope for. With only a single round robin, you're only ever gonna meet any other team in your division once. So if you want revenge, you gotta meet them in playoffs.
Meet them in playoffs. Yeah. I think we'll see both of these teams in playoffs.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna see one. Odds are high.
Odds are very high. And I mean, it would be a shame if either of these teams didn't make it to playoffs. Both of them played really well. They both have been playing very well.
For sure.
I very much look forward to seeing at least one of them at playoffs. We're looking at the stream poll right now. So far, it's a 3-1 vote. Wildhoff Meister sitting as the MVP right now. If anyone wants to vote otherwise, please do